Man, what's up, YouTube? I'm Darren. I'm the Bowtie Fragrance Guy. I'll talk about fragrances and fashion on this channel. Today, we're going to be jumping into 10 fragrances in my collection that are inexpensive, but can be great signature scents. Now, the significance of that is, number one, they're already inexpensive, but when you have a fragrance that's inexpensive and can become a signature scent, you're getting an even better value for your dollar. Signature scents can be worn year round. They have versatility to them, so you can wear them pretty much anytime, any place, any time of the year. And again, when you can find a fragrance like most of the fragrances on this list for under that about $30, $35 price point, you are really getting good bang for your buck. So I have 10 here. Actually, I have 11 because I have a quick honorable mention that I'm going to talk to you guys about. These aren't fragrances that I've mentioned a lot on this channel. One or two of them I've mentioned. But a lot of these are fragrances I have never really talked about, so this should be good. So if you want to see what's on the list, you know how we get down. Keep it locked right here. All right, guys, I'm back. Thank you so much for keeping it locked in, man. Let's go ahead and dive into this. As I said again, my name is Darren. I'm the Bowtie Fragrance Guy. I talk about fragrance and fashion. So if that's interesting to you or sounds interesting to you, if those are two things that you are interested in as well, is what I'm trying to say. Consider subscribing to the channel, and also if you do so, make sure you hit that bell icon as well. That way, YouTube would think about potentially notifying you when I upload new content. All right, guys, so the first fragrance up on this list. Look, man, the rack stores have been lit lately. I don't know if you guys have been as of late, but for about a year, there was nothing there. They were like the same 5 or 6 fragrances every time I went into one of those stores. And this last week or so, it's been lit. And I found this one on clearance for $7. And I must say, for the price, this is a good one from the House of Banana Republic. This is called Banana Republic M. It's decent, man, for the price. Nice citruses on the top, a little bit of a spicy kick, peppery kind of kick in there. Again, is there some fig leaf in here? There is, on the dry down, some sandalwood and cedar. It's good for the price, honestly, and that nice, you know, pleasant citrusy fragrance that has a nice woody dry down. One of the fragrances that just works, man. Any season, I can see you really wearing this as like an office fragrance, a signature scent. And again, for the price, you can't really complain. So if you see this one out there, I think it's really good for the price. I wouldn't pay more than $20 for this, but again, at $7, it's definitely a steal. So honorable mention goes to this one from the House of Banana Republic. This is Banana Republic M. All right, guys, the next fragrance up on the list, another one that I found here recently. This stuff is really good, man. Again, for the price, from the House of Hollister. This is called Festival Night. Festival Night. Now, this fragrance reminds me a lot of Paco Rabanne 1 Million. So if you've smelled 1 Million before, this is going to kind of put you in the mindset of that. It opens up with this nice accord of apple. And when it dries down, you get some sandalwood and musk and tonka bean. So it's really, really good. I mean, for the price, like I said, something that'll put you in the mindset of a 1 million, and it performs really good for what you're going to pay for this. I think this one was going for $19, and this is a 3.4 ounce, so really good for the price. Definitely signature scent worthy, just like 1 million can be worn year round, pretty much any season, any reason, any occasion, from the House of Hollister. Again, this one is called Festival Night. All right, guys, I was really, really impressed with this next fragrance as a signature scent. It was released last year, and I didn't. It kind of went unnoticed, I think, because I didn't hear anybody talk about it until this year. But it's been popping up in the rack stores, and I say go get it. From the House of Mont Blanc, this is called Star Walker Extreme. Star Walker Extreme. This one opens up with beautiful citrus accord, man. Beautiful citruses on the top, lemon, mandarin, orange. And the dry down is really, to me, about that also tonka bean and sandalwood. Now, if you remember, this is kind of a classic, underrated fragrance to me from Mont Blanc as well. The original Star Walker, which to me is really clean, nice fragrance for the summer. Reminds me somewhat of Versace Man Eau Fraiche, which is a fragrance I love. The original. So then, of course, again, they came out last year with the Extreme. And I don't know why it wasn't talked about, but there seemed to be a few fragrances from the house of Mont Blanc that just kind of pop up out of nowhere with no publicity, no marketing or anything. And it is pretty good. Again, I can see this definitely being a signature scent because of the way it's composed. You have the nice citruses on the top and a beautiful sandalwood tonka bean combination on the dry down. Check it out. I think it's worth the price tag of about 24 bucks from the house of Mont Blanc. This is Star Walker Extreme. All right, guys, the next fragrance on the list, this one actually comes from the house of Dunhill, and this is Icon Racing Red. Icon Racing Red. Listen, if you like Versace Eros Flame, this is a good alternative. It's a little bit toned down from Eros Flame, but it's going to give you a very similar vibe to what you got from Eros Flame. Primarily was very parallel between those two fragrances is in the opening of Versace Eros Flame, you have that beautiful mandarin orange note. Same thing here in the opening, and when it dries down, it is very sweet and warm. You have some tonka bean and amber in this one. And again, for the price tag, you can find this one for around that $40 range. This is probably the most expensive one on the list. But again, it's a good signature scent. And I think it's even better as far as the signature scent is concerned when you compare it to Eros Flame. Not saying it smells better, but it's a little bit more toned down. So I think it can be more appropriate for more occasions, more scenarios. So check it out, man, from the house of Dunhill. This is called Icon Racing Red. All right, guys, now the next fragrance on the list, I've never talked about this one on the channel, but it's inexpensive and it's good for the price for sure. It's definitely a signature scent kind of fragrance from the house of Sean John. This is Sean John. Now, this one was released in the year of 2016. It's just a pleasant fragrance. It's really not a whole lot to say about it. It's kind of sweet. It's a little bit spicy, especially what I get in the heart of this one is, I think it's nutmeg in this, so you get that kind of cinnamon nutmeg kind of vibe with some black pepper, as well as cardamom in this as well. So again, that contributes to that kind of sweet spiciness, and then it dries down. You get, of course, some tonka bean, sandalwood, musk. Again, perfect kind of signature scent for, and it's something that's good for the price that you're going to pay for it. None of these is anything to write home about. Most of these last between that 4 to 6 hour time frame, so it's not anything beast mode or anything groundbreaking, but for the price, these are some great signature scents. So check this one out from the house of Sean John. This is called Sean John. All right, guys, the next fragrance up on the list is one that I really enjoy, man. This is definitely the perfect signature scent, inexpensive signature scent, and we're going back to the house of Mont Blanc on this one, and this is called Presence. This is called Presence. Man, this stuff is so good for the price. What I love about it is that opening of that apple and cinnamon opening. There's a nice apple cinnamon vibe in the opening of this fragrance, and then it dries down. Just like a lot of other fragrances on this list, it has musk, tonka bean, a little bit of amber, a little bit of sandalwood. It seems to be kind of the play for a lot of these less expensive fragrances, that it just creates a very warm and sweet dry down, and that's always really appealing in most cases. So they had this one. This one came out recently, another Mont Blanc fragrance that just kind of popped up, Mont Blanc Presence Cool. This one is great as well, but I would say this one is a little bit more suited for spring and summer, although you could get away with wearing it. I would say 3 out of the 4 seasons, maybe fall as well. But this one is a little bit better as a signature scent. But if you see any one of these, they're both great fragrances, so I thought I'd mention this because it popped up recently. Check both of them out from the house of Mont Blanc. You have Presence and Presence Cool. All right, guys, the next fragrance up on this list is another inexpensive or cheapy, but it's really good for the price. Another one that you can probably find, and well, you used to be able to find it in rack stores. I haven't seen it as of late, but from the house of Abercrombie, this is Abercrombie & Fitch First Instinct Blue. Most of the fragrances from this First Instinct line seems to be pretty good. The First Instinct Together, the Extreme, and of course the Blue, all of them seem to be pretty good. If you like fragrances like Dylan Blue, Bulgari Aqua Atlantique, fragrances like that, you'll enjoy this one as well. And I think you can get this for a little bit even cheaper than those fragrances. That's why I included this one on the list. Definitely signature scent worthy. Another one that has a nice apple cardamom kind of opening on this fragrance. And of course, I don't even have to talk about the notes on the base because it's the same ones I've been talking about all day. You have tonka bean, amber, and sandalwood. But again, really good fragrance for the price from the house of Abercrombie & Fitch. Definitely one that you can wear as a signature scent and be good to go. This is Abercrombie & Fitch First Instinct Blue. All right, guys, the next fragrance up on the list again is one that you can find for a great price, and for what you're going to pay, I think you'll be impressed with this one from the house of Michael Kors. This is called Extreme Blue. Extreme Blue. It's not your typical blue fragrance though. It has more of this kind of green, fresh kind of aromatic quality to it. A little bit spicy as well. But again, for the price, this one is really good. I can see you definitely wearing this any place, definitely in an office type setting, year round. I think you'll be able to get away with this one, and you'll be pleased with what you get for what you're gonna pay for it. So make sure you check this one out, man. Again, it's from the house of Michael Kors. This is called Extreme Blue. All right, guys, the next fragrance up on the list, I haven't heard anybody really talk about this fragrance. It's an amazing cheapie, and this one is called Giacomo. Giacomo, and I think the name of the house is Giacomo Paris, if I'm not mistaken. But this scent is really dope, man. It has a unique note combination. You have some plum, you have some pineapple and coffee in this fragrance. It kind of, to some extent, slightly reminds me a little bit of Amouage Diamant, which has that beautiful note of plum and peony. And I really like this thing for what you're gonna pay for it. Again, it's called Giacomo. I haven't really heard a lot of people talk about this, but it is an amazing, inexpensive fragrance. So make sure that you check this one out again from the house of Giacomo Paris. This is called Giacomo for Men. All right, guys, the next up on this list, I don't have to talk much about it. As a matter of fact, these last two I don't have to talk much about. I saved them for last because I've talked about them before. And some of these other fragrances are a little bit more new to the channel, and fragrances I haven't talked about that much. But this one, man, just get it. Acqua Senziale Blue from Salvatore Ferragamo. This stuff is good. It's really, really good. The closest inexpensive thing I've smelled to Bleu de Chanel is this right here. I'm not saying it's an exact clone, but it'll definitely get the job done, man. I'm always gonna have this in my collection. One of my favorite cheapy or inexpensive fragrances. And when you talk about, you know, fragrances that can be worn year round and that are very, very pleasing and can be signature scents, this is one I just had to put on here. So if you haven't checked it out yet, I highly recommend that you do. Again, this is from the house of Salvatore Ferragamo, and this is Acqua Senziale Blue. All right, guys, and last but not least, another one that needs no introduction from the house of Mont Blanc. Again, this is Mont Blanc Explorer. Mont Blanc Explorer. Again, if you don't want to pay a lot of money for Creed Aventus, or if you're not a fan of Club de Nuit Intense, man, this is another good fragrance to get if you like the Creed Aventus DNA. Of course, it's at discounters now, so you can find this for around that $30, $35, $40 price point, depending on where you look. eBay and places like that as well. But it's definitely gonna give you good value for your dollar, and it smells great, and it's definitely a signature scent worthy. So check it out. Again, this one is from the house of Mont Blanc as well. This is Mont Blanc Explorer. All right, guys, that's it. That's my time, man. I hope you enjoyed this video today, as I gave you 10 great, inexpensive or cheap, whatever you want to call them, signature scent options that are versatile and can be worn year round. As always, I sincerely appreciate your time. I appreciate your attention to these videos. You don't have to watch, but you do, man. And I don't take that for granted. From the bottom of my heart, I sincerely appreciate that. Now, if you don't mind, don't forget to make sure you take a few moments to go ahead and like, subscribe, and share these videos out to some other folks that you think could use this information or find it entertaining or valuable, because I'm your guy, the Bowtie Fragrance Guy. I love to look good, and of course, I love to smell amazing. So until next time, guys, keep looking good, keep smelling even better. I'll catch you on the flip side. Peace.